it's going like this because we're all getting tired of it. And you can tell that by the viewer numbers for this season.
Yeah.
It's half of what they had at the beginning.
Let's just throw a grenade.
Sure.
Welcome to the Two Gaming Dudes. It's Easter weekend when we celebrate the cosmic space Jew who is his own dad coming to Earth to be tortured to death so that we can eat his flesh and drink his blood and be forgiven of a sin that we were born with because a rib woman ate a magic apple from a talking snake.
It's the best story ever. I also read the Harry Potter books.
Just as plausible. Okay.
Mandalorian. Let's talk about something else that's totally plausible.
Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, Guns for Hire. Let's get one thing out of the way right away.
Okay.
Let's get two things out of the way right away.
Okay.
We didn't intend to dress alike.
That was totally accidental.
We just caught it, and Chuck said everyone assumes we're a gay couple anyway. So it's funny, just go with it.
Whatever.
Okay, more importantly, I fucking hate stunt casting. I hate it. I hate stunt casting. It is lazy and stupid and unimaginative and completely rips you out of the moment and destroys your disbelief. I freaking hate it. Directors that do it are fucking assholes.
Because you don't look at it and say, oh, cool, it's the such and such from that planet. You point and go, oh, it's Jack Black. Oh, it's Christopher Lloyd. Oh, it's... Lizzo.
Who's a shit actress. That's another problem you come up with.
She's not an actress, though. I mean,
do you remember, speaking of ridiculous holidays, remember Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
He directed it. Mm-hmm. And when somebody asked, why didn't you put yourself in as a cameo? His answer was very intelligent. He's like, no, I don't want to be in it. I'm trying to pull people into this world and make them believe it. I don't need them to look in the background and say, oh, hey, it's Braveheart. He's absolutely correct.
Yes, he is.
Because he's a good director.
But if your story is not strong enough to stand on its own and you're losing viewers, then you run out and go, all right, find some celebrities. Who's around the studio who can jump in here? Is Chris Hemsworth around? No, he's busy. All right, who's around? Well, Lizzo's in the other studio recording flute stuff.
Do you want to be in a Star Wars show?
Yay! So that got us Lizzo and Jack Black. And Christopher Lloyd.
Okay, so that's out of the way. So the Axe Wolves are floating around and they're acting as mercenaries now. And we see them rescuing, or I guess not rescuing, going to recapture a Mon Calamari royal who's going to marry some girl that his parents don't want him to marry. And he's like, but I love you. And the girl's like, yeah, you were just a hump and dump, just go.
That was actually my favorite part. I loved that. I was like, pretty good. No, let's continue this thread, shall we? I want to see where this leads.
Well, Din Djarin and Bo are also going to find the Axe Wolves because she's been tasked with bringing everyone back.
And everybody loves fish and squid porn.
Yeah, I sure do. So they go to this planet, Plazir 15, which is like this utopia now. And as they arrive, they get waylaid. The computer system says, no, you have to come meet our rulers first, who are Jack Black and Lizzo.
Yes.
And they say, we have a droid problem. We got a bunch of separatist droids, and they're malfunctioning.
We don't understand it. Well, we don't understand anything.
Can you send your hired guns to fix? No, because for reasons, you have to do it. Fine.
It's like one of the lame threads I would have used if I were like running a role-playing group, and I want them to go left, and they're like, no, we want to go right. Well, you can't go right. How come? It's blocked off, and they don't want you to go there, so you got to go left. Come on, guys, just go left.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Exactly the same.
It's like, couldn't your guys do it? Well, yeah, but...
No.
No.
Because you just do it.
They can't. You do it.
Why? Come on, just do it. So they go, I'm just going to... They solve the robot problem by going to a bar. Because droids now have culture and hang out at bars.
Did this episode feel like an episode of, like, Law and Order or SVU or any of those? It's kind of like that mixed with Scooby-Doo.
Okay, I'm okay with the Scooby-Doo stuff. Usually, and a little bit of it. Because the originals were made with kids in mind, and there are silly moments of...
Sure.
3PO is so effete and goofy, and it's fun. There's childish moments in it. It's okay.
Yeah.
But now droids have this culture and they think for themselves and socialize in bars. And somebody slid nanobots into the lubricating oil.
That's right. Someone slipped a Mickey.
and that's what's making the droids misbehave.
They roofied the droids.
And they trace it back to, oh no, it was Doc Brown the whole time. Because he wants to take the planet back to the future and make Plaisir great again.
What the hell timeline am I in?
The actor! 1.21 gigawatts! And they catch him, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then they exile him.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, now you can meet with Axe-Wolves. And they go. And they're like, hey, I want my fleet back, and you guys are under me again. And Axe-Wolf is like, no, fuck you. And they have to karate fight.
You want to fight? All right, then.
And then they karate fight. And then Din is like, here, you should take this stupid Darksaber, too. And then he gives it to her.
Yep. This thing is really stupid and it's really heavy for no reason. Just take it. I hate this thing.
And so
I look stupid every time I use it.
She's fulfilling the prophecy that we predicted months ago. That she's gonna take the Darksaber
and ride a mythosaur and.
I was talking earlier. It feels as if this is what I would expect from the next season of Rick and Morty. Because Justin Roiland is canceled.
Right.
And he's out. And they're bringing in a whole new production staff to try and continue.
Right.
And I would expect it to be watching and saying, oh, it's a completely different show with all these new people.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel the same as it did before, but these are a whole new crew, new cast, new voices.
It would make
everything.
sense.
So, yeah.
This is the same fucking people. It's the same guys that did that outstanding, amazing season 1.
And season 2.
Which wasn't as amazing,
but still. I mean, the same guy, same people.
Yet it's a completely different show. A completely different show. I don't know what happened. Are they doing it intentionally, or are they feeling studio pressure?
I would imagine it's studio pressure, and it's like the shit that Marvel is going through right now, where everything they make has to tie into something else. Yeah. Another show, or the movie that's coming out, because you know there's a movie coming out. We'll talk about that later. But there is a movie coming out.
But why do they feel obligated to follow that same fucking formula?
Because it keeps making them money. It's going like this, because we're all getting tired of it. And you can tell that by the viewer numbers for this season.
Yeah.
It's half of what they had at the beginning. And that's even less than what they had, from the season before. I mean, their viewership numbers keep dropping. And this most recent episode is not helping things.
I like the character of Bo Katan. I like Katie Sackhoff. I've liked her since BSG.
Yeah.
This isn't her show.
No.
This is the fucking Mandalorian. I want to see his show. You want to do a spin-off and give her a spin-off because everybody gets a spin-off? Fine and well.
Whatever.
This isn't it.
Want to talk about what I did like about this show? I liked him kicking the droids. When they were going through and he just starts kicking them and knocking them over like an asshole. And I was like, wow, that's pretty fantastic. And everybody's like, you shouldn't do that. And he's like, why? I don't give a shit. Kick another one. They have feelings. I really don't care. Kick another one. And finally he kicks one that gets up and is like, bitch. And then they fight. I was like, yeah, that was enjoyable. I liked that.
It's just, everything was just so contrived and dumb. Which has been an overarching theme of the entire season thus far.
Contrived and dumb?
Contrived and dumb. And just...
You're not wrong.
Very weak. It's just so weak. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. It's okay, but...
There's going to be another episode where we're going to talk about some of the upcoming stuff that Star Wars is doing, or that Disney's doing with Star Wars. And I kind of want to touch on Star Wars fandom.
Okay.
And what that's all about. So that's going to be another episode, so make sure you watch out for that. As far as this episode of The Mandalorian, though, it's silly. And weird. Is it more silly than an army of teddy bears attacking and overthrowing an army of soldiers? Debatable. But, I mean...
No, but listen, it stands the test of linear storytelling. If I were to tell you, if you hadn't seen any of it, and I was just explaining to you, They end up on this forest moon, and they know they can't win, so they enlist the help of the locals, of the local native inhabitants. And you say, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. Versus, they land on the planet, and they have a robot problem, and they ask, why don't you just have your army do it? And they say, oh, because they're not allowed to. You've broken that linear...
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense anymore. It doesn't stand up to...
The story makes sense, or the story gets broken by bullshit. Here it's broken by bullshit. So it is worse than Ewoks.
Wow, there you go. It is worse than Ewoks. Now, that's something that's at least worth a comment or two. So put that in the comments. Was it worse than Ewoks? Yeah, I think it was worse than Ewoks. But, I mean, I don't know what you think. So leave some comments down below. And let us know what you think. Are you still watching this? Have you reached fatigue? Do you have Star Wars fatigue and just not care anymore? Because I feel like apathy is like the death sentence of all of this shit. It's one thing when we are
you feeling that?
Care enough that we're like, oh my god, how are you ruining this? I have to watch it again next week to find out how bad it is, and then I got to complain about it. Versus, I just don't care anymore.
Are you at the not caring stage on this?
I'm close.
Really?
I'm really close.
Because I'm not. I'm still very vested and enjoying the show, but definitely feeling the disappointment in the way that it's going.
I mean, I hit that with Marvel.
Yeah.
I absolutely hit that with Marvel.
Okay.
Where they're like, all right, the next thing coming out is total bullshit. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't. You're not going to complain about it and say, oh, how dare... No. Because I just don't care. I'll watch it or not watch it. If it passes by and I don't see it, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, Shazam will be streaming next week.
Yes, and I might
if I'm sitting
see
around.
It if it's, yeah. But I'm not rushing out to the theater for it. And I'm afraid it'll happen with Star Wars, where the newest thing will come out and they're like, oh my god, this is the greatest Star Wars thing ever. And I'm going to say, I'll watch it or not. I don't care anymore.
God, I really hope that's not the case. That would be such a shame if they do that to Star Wars.
Well, that would be devastating, but...
Because they did it to Star Trek.
Yeah.
In many worse ways, I would say. They altered the very fabric of Star Trek.
Between Picard and Enterprise and...
Discovery.
Discovery and...
Enterprise was a good show.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lower
so Enterprise
Decks.
was good. Discovery, Lower Decks. The
Picard
movies.
is just the dump. Picard is the... I am hesitant to tell you to watch it just so we could make fun of it because it is volume... Like, is a film scholar could spend his entire thesis telling you why Picard is stupid and destroyed Star Trek.
Wow.
It is so bad.
Is it bad, like bad acting, bad effects, just that kind of bad? Or is it just like the dumbest story ever? Or
Go to your mom's house and find your old box of school stuff and find a short story that you submitted in 3rd grade. It makes that much sense.
Wow.
And then a dinosaur came down and they were fighting, but then the lightning bolt hit the dinosaur and the good guys won.
Wow.
What the fuck just happened?
I would never have expected that from Star Trek.
It's so
right?
off. Ever since J.J. Abrams put his filthy fucking hands on it, it's become something completely different.
That is a shame.
Completely different. The worst shit that you ever saw on Sci-Fi Channel blows Picard away.
Wow.
It's so fucking bad.
That's bad. All right. You know what to do. You got to click subscribe and like and all that stuff to help our algorithm because we don't know how the hell all that shit works. Yeah. And we're going to catch you in another episode. So, see you later.